So the slightly provocative question I'm going to ask each of you is, should we give up on free speech if everybody who talks about free speech is actually a hypocrite? And if not, then why should we care about this value?
We are all hypocrites about free speech. It's human nature. Free speech is a deeply difficult concept, and in some ways counterintuitive to human nature, I think. The good thing about is that we've made progress. Like the circle of accepted speech, at least in mature democracies, has grown a lot. I don't think we will ever escape hypocrisy. It's what in my book on the history of free speech I call Milton's curse, after John Milton, the famous English poet who wrote the Areopagitica in 1644, a very famous defense of free speech. But when you read it more carefully, it becomes clear that Milton is not in favor of free speech for Catholics. He's not in favor of blasphemy. In fact, he's mostly in favor of free speech for mainline Protestant sects. So it's definitely not a new concept, but it's something to be on guard against. And I think this is where, in the United States, the value of the First Amendment becomes really, really clear, because it provides a very strong, robust protection against government overreach. Now, it's a necessary but not a sufficient protection for free speech, because unfortunately, as we see, cultural institutions, law firms, media outlets voluntarily cave to the pressure of the Trump administration, even though they could rely on the strongest free speech protection in the world, which I think is an affront to dissidents in Iran and Russia, who cannot rely on that protection. But I think it's a big difference, particularly compared to the European model, where a lot of the things that the Trump administration is threatening to do, but which would violate the First Amendment, are perfectly feasible and actually being carried out in Europe right now. But ultimately, we obviously need that civil libertarian impulse to win the day. That is extremely difficult at a time of intensive polarization, because that just overrides the civil libertarian impulse.